Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1652. Today we have Dr. Brody Miller, PhD. Wife's name is Rocio. Rocio. And we're reading from Dr. Brody's book, Brain Rescue. Uh, I'm trying to talk about a time-tested secret. But this is Brain Rescue, a 90-day blueprint to reclaim your memory in reclaim your memory. There we go. A 90-day blueprint to reclaim your memory after a brain injury or concussion. I have to say that we don't know who has had one and who has not just by looking at a crowd of people. I think that we just don't know, and each individual has to decide for themselves whether they want to look back and say, did I ever get hit in the head? Did I ever get some kind of damage that seemed like permanently? But you can reclaim your memory from what Dr. Brody Miller tells us in this book. This is a really key set of steps to take. You can change your diet, your behavior, your sleep patterns. You can remember things. Chapter 6, the third pillar. B is for BRAIN. I'll go back to the table of contents for a brief second here, and I'm going to say that we have 1 pillar, 2 pillar, 3 pillar, 4 pillar, 5 pillar, 6 pillar, 7 pillar, and then we have DEDICATE, which is the 7th pillar, chapter 11, Brain Injury Warriors, Stories of Hope, before the afterword and the bonus chapter. Right now we are on chapter 6 with the third pillar. B is for BRAIN. In case you don't realize it, it spells brain. So it's BRAIN. This section is all about the 5 principles of neuroplasticity to use for predictable results in your memory recovery journey. When you harness the 5 core principles of neuroplasticity, breathing, repetition, association, intensity, and novelty, BRAIN, breathing, repetition, association, intensity, and novelty, you unlock your brain's full potential to recover your memory and thrive. These 5 core principles are not only a matter of neuroscience, but ultimately a matter of the laws of physics. The first step is B for breathing. Breath is the bridge which connects life to consciousness, which unites your body to your thoughts. Thich Nhat Hanh. I have to look at something here. Stop, reset. 20 minutes and start. Sorry, I have to do that. I didn't remember. Yesterday I didn't remember a doctor appointment, but I was reminded after I got into a phone call and mentioned the doctor's name to a pharmacist, and I had forgotten my appointment. The pharmacist offered gently to call my doctor for me to talk about one of the prescriptions anyhow, and said that she would definitely mention what I had said about remembering the phone call. Just the fact of saying that you remember makes a difference to people. I remember you. Or really just remembering something afterward, it's better than not remembering it. Just the thought is more important than not having that thought. Okay. Thich Nhat Hanh. TH, I with an accent aigu, CH. NHA with an accent grave. No. What do you call that? A hat, and an accent aigu on the A, T, okay, and then the last word is HA with a dot underneath and NH. Thich Nhat Hanh. We don't speak Vietnamese on Morsels of a Thought. However, I respect that there are many accents that I am getting wrong. Thich Nhat Hanh is the only way I can pronounce it. It is a name of a to Vietnamese monk who was very well known for his methodologies, which helped people to resolve and become their human selves. Anyway, breath, he says, this is Thich Nhat Hanh's quote, breath is the bridge which connects life to consciousness, which unites your body to your thoughts. So, Dr. Brody Miller continues on with the concept and says, breathing matters. Breathing is the essence of all life. Your brain, which makes up only 2% of your body mass, consumes 20% of your body's energy. To activate your brain properly, you need to master the skill of intentional breathing. The way you breathe matters a lot. I remember when I was obese, I'm still obese, but when I was first obese, I breathed a different way than I breathe now. All of a suddenly, as my 2-year-old younger brother used to say, all of a suddenly, I realized that breathing made a difference to me. It made my body feel better when I breathed deeply, long, slowly, and evenly. That's another doctor's quote. That's another doctor's quote. I won't mention his name here at the moment because he knows who he is and he saved my life. And I've already given you 2 philosopher doctors' names. So I think I'm going to stop at 2. However, this is a third doctor who did work with the National Institutes of Health from the Chinese government collaboration with the United States government 20 years ago. Anyway, here is the thing, says Dr. Brody Miller. When you breathe in, you are activating your sympathetic nervous system. When you breathe out, you are relaxing your parasympathetic system. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll get into this in a second. What I'm doing here is Morsels of a Thought, number 1652. I come here in the mornings, my time, in order to grant you reasons to get a good day into your life. And the reason you want to make a good day out of your life is that you want to have a purpose in your life. You want to do the good thing for humanity. You want to do the good thing for yourself. Actually, sometimes you forget yourself when you do the thing about humanity first, but in a way, that's better. In a way, that's important. You have to do good things for yourself, for humanity, whichever order you choose to do them in, but you have to have a good purpose to get up in the morning. And so I bring morsels of a thought, preferably thoughts of wisdom rather than thoughts of just knowledge. These are knowledge, but these are wisdom. I'm borrowing wisdom. I get these good books for you to get you to know where to go right and where to avoid pitfalls. So here we've got Dr. Brody Miller talking about brain injuries, which, even if you conked your head, we often say we conked our head on something. That's actually, in my opinion, that's a brain injury. That's my opinion. I'm no expert and I'm not a doctor. We got to ask Dr. Brody Miller. He's on Instagram. Dr. Brody Miller is on Instagram. You can go find him there. And I do the Morsels of a Thought. I've done it 1,652 days straight for you guys. And my purpose in it is to bring virtue into the world. And how does that happen? It happens by morsels of a thought of wisdom. Wisdom, knowing the right thing to do, is a form of wisdom. Doing it, taking the action to complete it, is an act of virtue. So when we get wisdom, we're more likely to be committing acts of virtue than not, because we're going with what we want. Well, not what we want. What the right thing is to do. Sometimes what we want isn't the right thing to do. So what we want is to eat a cheesecake. Well, my my advisors and mentors have told me don't. So knowing the right thing to do and actually doing it, there's a step to take. And we are doing the steps in morsels of the thought. That's why we take it in morsels. That's how come I said morsels. I didn't say segments. I said morsels. Okay, there we are. When you breathe in, says Dr. Brody Miller, you are activating your sympathetic nervous system. When you breathe out, you are relaxing your parasympathetic system. If you are a shallow breather, you prevent the parasympathetic system from engaging properly. That's a big deal. As a result, stress hormones flood your system, clouding your thinking and activating your primal survival response. Now, fast, shallow, and mouth breathing equals anxiety. Deep breathing causes your abdomen to rise and fall and consequently lowers your heart rate. When you breathe deeply, your body naturally shifts into a state of calm, meaning you can literally shift your state with breath. The inhalation portion of the breath is energizing. The exhalations are relaxing. In the same way that your heart rate or breathing rate changes according to your state. There's a footnote there. When the breath goes, energy and blood flow go. Better blood flow means better brain health. Think about if a lion walked in the door behind you, you wouldn't be taking a long exhale. You would be ready to run your ass off. That's what he says. Deep breathing engages the diaphragm, which is closely linked to the vagus nerve. Breathing is directly correlated to memory recall, meaning that your breathing patterns influence how well you remember things. Dr. Thich Nhat Hanh, the man that Dr. Brody Miller is quoting at the beginning of this section, said that when you're angry, you sit and you watch. You breathe in, you breathe out. You breathe in, you breathe out. And he also said it in a way, I breathe in, I breathe out. I breathe in, I breathe out. He said it in slowly, though. He said it slowly. And that is also what Dr. Brody is talking about. Breathing is directly correlated to memory recall, meaning that your breathing patterns influence how well you remember things. In the world with my patients, says Dr. Brody Miller, we explore and quantify different skills like breath holds and CO2 tolerance training to build stress resilience, improve oxygenation, and create an ideal environment for memory restoration. By adjusting the pace and intensity of your breathing, you can change your brain's state, reduce stress, and improve cognitive function fast. Now, let's dive into the incredible science behind breath holds. But before we dive into that, have you watched the movie The Waterboy with Adam Sandler playing the role of Bobby Boucher? I don't know if you love it, but I do, and you need to check it out. The Water Boy with Adam Sandler playing Bobby Boucher. There is a hilarious scene with a professor who looks like Colonel Sanders who asks his class, "Can anyone tell me why alligators are so aggressive all the time?" Boucher raises his hand and says, "Mama says it because alligators got all their teeth but no way to brush them." The class laughs, and another student raises his hand and says, "Alligators are so aggressive because of the size of their medulla oblongata. Oblongata. Boucher yells out in disbelief and storms out of the class in defense of his mama. Eventually, the professor says, "Something must be wrong with his medulla oblongata." Sandler loses his mind in anger and tackles the professor. Ironically, the medulla oblongata is a very important area of self-regulation, and you can activate its neuroplasticity through breath holds. It plays a role in regulating autonomic functions such as heart rate, breathing, and reflexes. Breath control techniques, including breath holds, can indeed help improve aspects of autonomic regulation by influencing the nervous system, and the medulla oblongata itself is just one part of this complex process. It is a skill that most people never tap into. That's exactly what happens when you practice breath holds. You're not just holding your breath, you're waking up your brain's chemoreceptors in the medulla oblongata, the control center in your brainstem that monitors CO2 levels. And he's got a footnote here. I'm going to look at the footnote just for a second. Just for a second. Footnote number 25. Nielsen, E.L., Kothari, K., Johansson, J. et al. The effects of intermittent hypoxic training on the cardiovascular system, chest, 2017, 151, 5, 1137 to 1148. Available from https://journal.chestnet.org/article/capital S 0012 hyphen 3692 open parenthesis 16 close parenthesis 52386 hyphen I letter I /abstract. Damn, but that's a long footnote. But that means that Dr. Brody Miller is doing his fucking research properly. As CO2 builds up, these sensors trigger powerful signals, forcing your brain to adapt and grow stronger. This isn't just about breathing, it's about building resilience. By training your body to handle stress and increasing your CO2 tolerance, you're training your brain to stay calm under pressure and to perform at its absolute best. Holding your breath is one of the most effective and efficient things you can do to build your stress tolerance. Think about it. There is nothing more stressful than the lack of oxygen. Here's the kicker. This process fuels neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself. You're creating the perfect conditions for your brain and memory to heal, grow, and perform at levels you didn't think were possible. This is life-changing stuff. You're literally reprogramming your brain's ability to recover and thrive. This isn't just about holding your breath. It's your brain's secret weapon to better health. Just as you need to practice the mechanics of shooting a great jump shot, you will understand how changing the pace and intensity of your breathing can rapidly change the state of your brain health. Holding your breath allows you to tap into the 0 point field where the past, present, and future all simultaneously exist. Action step. Try this 3-step breath hold secret. Step 1, cyclical hyperventilation breathing. Start by sitting comfortably. Take 30 very deep, steady breaths to flood your body with adrenaline and oxygen. Breathe by expanding your belly. Steady, powerful inhales through your mouth. This primes your lungs and makes it easier to hold your breath for longer. Step 2, the breath hold. On your last deep inhale, take a full breath and hold. Stay calm as your CO2 levels rise. This is where your brain starts to adapt and grow stronger. Hold for as long as you can without straining, then exhale slowly. Step 3, build your strength. Rest for a minute, then repeat for 3 to 5 rounds. With each round, push yourself to hold your breath just a little longer. This not only builds CO2 tolerance, but trains your brain to handle stress, boosting your recovery. Step 4, track your results and repeat. It's important to time how long you can hold your breath so that you can see the improvements over time. So it looks like he doesn't say to keep your eyes closed. So that means when you hold your breath, you keep a timer on. I have a timer somewhere here. I can't pull it off, but I can't pull it off of the stem. But I could theoretically, I could show you a timer. So you start by sitting comfortably. Take 30 very deep, steady breaths to flood your belly with adrenaline and oxygen. And breathe by expanding your belly. Steady, powerful inhales through your mouth. This primes your lungs and makes it easier to hold your breath for longer. The breath hold. On your last deep inhale, take a full breath and hold. Stay calm as your CO2 levels rise. This is where your brain starts to adapt and grow stronger. Hold for as long as you can without straining. Then, I gotta show you a timer here. Okay, you take a timer, and then take a full deep breath and hold. Stay calm as your CO2 levels rise. This is where your brain starts to adapt and grow stronger. Hold for as long as you can without straining, then exhale slowly. So you would go like start, rest for a minute, then repeat for 3 to 5 rounds. With each round, push yourself to hold your breath just a little longer. This not only builds CO2 tolerance, but trains your brain to handle stress, boosting your recovery. It's important, step 4, track your results and repeat. It's important to time how long you can hold your breath so that you can see the improvements over time. I can't hold my breath out. Well, we'll see. Okay, let me try again. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Old Canuck.